What's good, family? So mash the like button, subscribe, and lick off the bell. So we got some breaking news right now. Benadvidez has fired back at Team Canelo Alvarez, punking him about his irrelevance. Now, before we go into Benadvidez's comments, let me give you the background of what led this. Yeah. What preceded this reaction from Benadvidez? The fact that Team Alvarez punked him and told him he's unknown in these sides. Yeah, Team Alvarez said, "Listen, Benadvidez, you're unknown round these sides. You ain't got no belts, ain't got no big wins. You're a nobody. Yeah, you're Benadvidez." So these are the comments, the actual quotes from Team Alvarez. They said, "If you look at Benadvidez's record, he has not beaten anyone. The most he has done is a win over Anthony Dirrell." Wow, Anthony Old Dirrell, who for me is a champion who did not have a great run. Somewhat mediocre at 168 pounds. Wow, Reynoso told Diego Benadvidez. Many have called Benadvidez overrated. So what motivates us, Team Alvarez, to fight with him? He has won practically nothing. He fights with C-class opponents. Man, listen, we know Team Alvarez, they're not a smoky team, yeah? Team Alvarez don't go looking for beef, but if you poke in the right places, you get aired out. And Benadvidez down bad right now. He going through it 100%. And that's the thing, you see. A lot of the cats today in 2021, there's a lot of estrogen going around in the water. So it makes these men emotional and more like females. And that's why Benadvidez has clapped back. Because a real general would just say, listen, I'm going to take out Charlo. I'm going to take out Plant Pot. And I'm going to make it undeniable for me to get in Alvarez's panties. But these women looking dudes like Benadvidez, they want something for nothing. "Oh man, fight me. I've never beat no one, but fight me. I'm deserving." People like Dillian White, another one, just begging for things. Don't want to make their own way, yeah? Anyway, Benadvidez replies and says the following. "It kind of frustrates me now that everyone's coming out and saying I haven't fought anybody, that I've never fought on pay-per-views. I'm nobody, this and that," Benadvidez said, referring to Reynoso's comments. He goes on, "Team Alvarez can say all that, but I'm going through the ranks at super middleweight. I've been number one for like 3 fights already. I've been beating the people I have to beat. The people love to see me fight, so why wouldn't he want to fight me? I feel like it will be a great fight for the fans and for boxing." He goes on. "Team Alvarez can say whatever they want to say, but at the end of the day, I'm still winning my fights. I'm still number one in the super middleweight division. And the people are going to be keep calling for that fight, me versus Alvarez." So they can say this, Team Alvarez can say this, and they can say that, but you know, I'm here to stay. If they don't fight me now, they're going to have to see me in the future, because I'm not going nowhere. If Alvarez is going to stay at 168, he should fight with the number one at 168, me, Benadvidez, said. He fought the number one contender when the WBC title was vacant, Avni Yildirim. Yildirim hasn't fought nobody, and he took care of him. If it's going to be at 168, he has to fight me. If it's not going to be at 168, he needs to vacate all of his titles. He can pick and choose if he's going to 175 or if he's going up to cruiserweight or whatever he's going to do. He can do whatever he wants to do. If people are saying he's picking and choosing, that's for other people to say. I stay in my lane. I have tunnel vision. My main focus is the titles. If he's not going to fight me, he needs to vacate the titles and let me fight for them. Finally, Benadvidez says, "I want my shot at him, Alvarez. I still feel he has yet to face somebody like me in the super middleweight division. I'm fast, strong, young. I throw body shots, punches in bunches. I feel like I give him the best fight. I feel like I can beat Alvarez 100%. I just need my opportunity." So there you go. Those were the statements from Team Alvarez and from Jose Benadvidez himself. Now, what are my thoughts on these comments? Listen, the bottom line is, people, again, I've kind of already summed it up. There's way too much estrogen running through these certain cats. You got Benadvidez talking about his number one at 168. Well, guess what? Everyone else had belts. And you weren't doing nothing at number one. Yeah? Number one, where was you at? Why did Alvarez have to take out all these cats? Oh, you lost your belts on the scales? Whose fault's that? Oh, Alvarez needs to drop the belts. No, he don't. Alvarez don't need to do anything. You need to force his hands. Oh, the fans love to watch me. If the fans love to watch you, the numbers would be there. The numbers ain't there. You're not even on pay-per-view, but the fans love to watch you. Don't get me wrong. Benadvidez is rock'em sock'em for sure. But what we know is, can I sit here today and tell you that Benadvidez has left his mark on the sport? Or that Benadvidez is forcing Alvarez's hand? Absolutely not. And that's one thing that's consistent from all the weight divisions around 168. No one's really making their mark and forcing the issue. Look at Gennady Bumlovkin. Gennady Bumlovkin, another one. Way too much estrogen. Just begging. Very nice, I want shot. I've been fighting bums, I want shot, I need... Alvarez told you all. If you want a shot, go and make a shot for you. What's Bumlovkin been doing? Fighting bums, begging. I'm sick of it. And I understand the government are putting a whole bunch of estrogen in the water, but still. At some point, you've got to draw the line. We're all drinking estrogen. Yeah, I've got estrogen, but I'm 100% solid, you understand? And what makes it worse for me is these men are big men, big hardback, rock'em sock'em men, like Golovkin, like Benadvidez. But yet they're asking for things. Oh, Alvarez needs to be stripped, and why don't you go and make your own way? Like I said, go and beat Plant. Go and beat a Charlo. Go and beat an Andrade. I mean, at least one of them. You heard from Team Alvarez. Listen to Reynoso. Reynoso, yeah, Team Alvarez didn't mince their words. They said, Benadvidez hasn't beat no one. His best win is Anthony old ass Dirrell. Anthony Dirrell was knocking around back with Carl Froch and Andre Ward back 10 years ago. Seriously. That's your best win. And you sit right there. A man from the decade before, yeah? A man from the generation before is your best win. And you're talking about how Alvarez is ducking. What have you been doing, Benadvidez? Apart from losing your belt on the scales and sniffing the white, yeah? Apart from burying your nose in the El Chapo, yeah? You love the Chapo. Benadvidez loves a bowl full of Chapo. Yeah, he does. That's 100% confirmed. Benadvidez loves a nose full of Chapo. 100%. But whose fault's that? It's not Alvarez's fault that you love the Chapo. It's not Alvarez's fault that you lost the belt on the scales. When are these so-called men and so-called champions and so-called hard-asses going to start taking responsibility and making things happen? Like I said, at least beat one of these guys. Fucking hell. Is that too much to ask for? Is it too much to ask for Golovkin or Benadvidez to beat one cat? I mean, I'm not being funny. Wouldn't that be a great fight? Golovkin versus Benadvidez. That would be a classic fight, I feel like. Very similar styles. Rock'em sock'em. No defense, just march forward. And that's why, I tell you what, I do think that to an extent, I've said it before, but I'm not saying it's Alvarez's job to do this, but I do believe if I was working with Team Alvarez, I do think they need to do more in their marketing department. In as much as, if I was Team Alvarez, I'd tell people what needs to happen. I'd be saying now, Benadvidez, if you want this fight, you need to fight Golovkin or Andrade, for example. I will make a contract now. Eddie Hearn will draw a contract up now. I will fight the winner of Benadvidez versus Golovkin or Benadvidez versus Andrade. That's what he should be doing now, I feel, from Team Alvarez's team. Why? Why should he be matchmaking like that? Because it actually adds value to Team Alvarez. Because guess what? The pay-per-view is a lot bigger. Alvarez, versus Benadvidez now is a lot smaller than it would be if Benadvidez is the winner in a Golovkin fight. And even in an Andrade fight. So I'm not sure why Team Alvarez aren't being proactive like this. And I think it'd be quite innovative. It'd be something new. I don't see why not. When you're the bona fide A-side like Alvarez is, his team should be thinking outside the box. How can we generate more value for the... You know what I mean? How can we generate more value for our fighter and our future events? I know how to generate more value rather than fighting all these random dudes who ain't beat no one. Because look, Plant never beat no one. Billy Ho never beat no one. All these guys, you pop in cherries, they're not battle tested, and they're not pay-per-view people in their own right because they're not fighting pay-per-view fights. So rather than popping cherries, I think Alvarez needs to start making it clear to everyone: no more freebies. I'm not fighting no more people who are just random. From now on, you best start fighting each other if you want the shot. Because at the moment, it's possible. I'm not surprised that Benadvidez has got his begging hand open. Because people are used to it. Look at Plant. Look at Billy Ho. People are used to just sitting there waiting with their hands open. I mean, look at Billy Ho, was literally ordered to fight Andrade, which would have been a cool fight. Two big names going in together. Two undefeated fighters. Billy Ho ran away and then got the Alvarez fight. That's not right. And I think Alvarez needs to take responsibility now and start forcing these guys. No more handouts, no more freebies. From now on, anyone and everyone who fights me. Now, listen, maybe if he goes up and fights at cruiserweight, it's different. But I'm saying at 168, from now on, any fight I take at 168 will be someone who's beat someone. That's it. I'm not taking no more random dudes. No more. If you want to fight with me, you will have proven something. Because at least then, it's a two-way street. You know what I'm saying? For example, if Benadvidez, who knows? If Benadvidez could end up stopping Golovkin, I think. Imagine the intrigue that would have. Imagine Benadvidez stops Golovkin. Imagine the intrigue then. Wow, the first man to stop Golovkin versus Alvarez. That's going to be a big pay-per-view. Who knows? 800, 900, maybe even 1 million pay-per-views. Whereas now, it's probably 500, 600. So you've doubled the value just by putting that little clause in there. And that's the thing, or not. Or Benadvidez and Golovkin can say no, and that's fair enough. You don't have to fuck off then, innit? If you don't want to fight, and you just want to beg, keep begging. See you later then. And it also will prove to Alvarez who's really serious about this game. Yeah? Because we know Alvarez wants challenges. That's why he's going up to cruiserweight. So it's not like he's looking for an easy route. So why not filter out all the chaff, all the bums here who just want to have their begging hand open? Like for example, I reckon people like Billy Joe Saunders, he only would have taken the Alvarez fight if he could beg for it. He weren't going to fight no one hard for it. So doing it this way, you actually find out who's serious, and you actually get to fight the best. And at the same time, you get to add more money to your pocket. But ultimately, Benadvidez, you got no claim, you've beat no one, and it's true. Team Alvarez have told you beat no one, bottom line. You beat no one, and you ain't done squat. And you're too busy. If you listen, Benadvidez, if you spent more time focusing on beating someone, and less time with your nose in the chapo, you'd be alright. No doubt.